Alright, so I got a new card, and it is Shuri. Shuri is on reveal, double the power of the next card you play. So I thought, why not build a deck around Shuri? So she's in there, and I guess the idea is to come from behind on turn 5 and 6 with some big plays to win a few extra cubes. Ideally, for this, we want to play Shuri turn 4 and lead into nothing on turn 5 with a She-Hulk on turn 6, which would cost 1, followed by Taskmaster, who would copy She-Hulk's power. That would give her 2 cards at 20 at a base level. Also dropped Nakia and Okoye into the deck to try and boost She-Hulk before we get to that stage, so she could be worth up to 13 in hand, 26 when played on the board, so you end up with 226 cards on turn 6. It's fairly powerful, but we've got some other options in there as well, like Gamora and Captain Marvel, which are also good to boost if She-Hulk doesn't come out. Gamora can be huge if you hit right. So if you don't get She-Hulk on the draw, you could play Gamora turn 5 for like 23, I think she comes out at. 14 plus 5, 19. 19 unless she gets buffs from Nakia and Okoye, obviously, then you could get up to 25 from her. And again, repeat, drop Taskmaster on turn 6. If you don't get Gamora or She-Hulk, Captain Marvel is decent, especially if she's got the buffs. She's even more decent, because then she's worth, what, 9 up, well, from anywhere from 12 to 18 on turn 5. You can drop her in and drop tasks, and she's going to be like a floating high power card as well. She can move about the lanes, pretty handy. And Taskmaster is going to be like at least a 12 drop on turn 6, but because you only cost 5 and we're not using that extra 1, we can drop in Titania for 5, possibly 6, possibly 8, depending on what buff she's got, if we've got a safe lane to do so. So again, you're dropping quite, even with Captain Marvel on turn 5, you're still dropping like 12, 17 as a minimum on turn 6. So there's a few options there. I mean, you could even drop Maximus in there. We've got Maximus in this deck. Currently we've got Cosmo in here just because of the current trend for hide and discard decks behind Invisible Woman. That's all Cosmo's there for, just for the current state. You can swap that out for anything. You know, in every deck there's usually 3 cards that don't get pulled. I guess the worst case scenario here would be if you didn't get She-Hulk, Taskmaster or Shuri, in which case you can still play like a Spider-Man turn 4 to lock out 1 lane for turn 5, and that'll increase your chances of hitting with Gamora, because once they're down to 2 lanes you can kind of assume where they're going to go, so it's going to increase your chance of hitting with Gamora. And then turn 6 you could do something like Maximus and Titania, or I don't know, Maximus, Rocket and Titania. You've got a few options. That's like absolute worst case scenario. Even then, you're still getting out some decent numbers with the 12 on turn 5, and that's a minimum of 12 because you've probably got Okoye and Nakia in that scenario. So that's a minimum of 12 on turn 5. You could swap Cosmo out for another sort of 2-cost card, something with decent power. You can maybe drop in like a Medusa, a Star-Lord, if you think you can predict where they're going to go, just for those situations when you don't get the ideal ending to the game. So you've got a few options for those last couple of turns, and generally this deck seems to be going quite well. So why don't we have a few games and see how we do. Alright, so turn 1 we've got Shuri and Nakia, that's good. Titania we can keep for turn 6 if we don't get other things. Happy to drop Rocket now. Turn 5 all cards we should play here. Ideally we won't play anything turn 5, so that shouldn't make too much difference. But if we haven't got the right cards, then maybe that will be a good time to drop Spider-Man turn 4 and just make them skip a turn entirely. That could work. Nothing to play turn 2, so we haven't got Okoye. Shuri's Lab is going to be pretty powerful here. I guess even if we don't pull Shuri, it's still She-Hulk the middle. Oh, we've already got Shuri, actually, yeah. We could drop Shuri, then drop a 20 power She-Hulk into Shuri's lab for 40. Alright. If we get Taskmaster pulled here, it's looking pretty good. Even if we don't, that's not looking too bad. Let's go into Kia. On the left, and we'll buff that Titania. Just in case we need it. Okay, so he's going to destroy. Destroy's kind of a bit of a concern because you know they're going to have at least a 12 power death on the last turn. We are going to drop Shuri now, and if we don't pull Taskmaster next round, then I'm going to have to play something. Because I don't want to skip turn 5 unless I know I've got Taskmaster in hand. So let's see where this ends up. Gamora. It could be... Well, Gamora left isn't bad actually, because we know we're going to hit. Let's see what we get here. That's the first 3 cards you've destroyed, right? I think it is. But Deadpool went back in the hand, obviously, and yes, that's 3. Right, so here we are, turn 6. We could drop She-Hulk mid, but it's probably not worth it, because it's still not going to beat a tumor. We could go Captain Marvel and Titania, but we're probably going to lose Titania, so that's not ideal. They're going first, so we're not going to lose to Tanya. So let's do this and just see where we end up. Okay, so we didn't get to play She-Hulk, we didn't get to play Taskmaster, but still got some decent numbers out. Okay, She-Hulk, good. Titania, decent. Gamora, good. Shuri would be great. Coffee, good. Gamma Lab, it's a weird one. Haven't had that in a while. Nope, let's avoid that. So I guess I'm probably going for... Oh, we are a Cerebro 2 deck. The clues are in the portrait, I guess. Okay, we need to play something here, because otherwise... he's not going to play mid. They're not going to play mid because it's going to give a high cost card, which Cerebro does no like. So let's do that. Storm? Yep. And there's our Shuri and Taskmaster and She-Hulk. I'm alright with that. I mean, Cerebro 2 can pump out some numbers like... We haven't had anything to buff She-Hulk, even though she was in prime position for an Ikea. Let's snap and see where this goes, eh? We're gonna lose mid, like that's happening. Because those Cerebro buffs are just gonna... Oh. What an unexpected turn. Alright, so we're going to go She-Hulk right and Taskmaster left. There's a Hazmat coming. And a Hobgoblin. Did not see the Hobgoblin coming. Probably should have. Let's see how this ends up, eh? Flat 20 on each side. 14. What we're going to get? Another 8 on the left. 12. Could be enough, you know. Rude. And Cerebro? Nah, low numbers. I was expecting a lot more. Is what it is, bud. Genre Bear. No title. Icebox has hit Captain Marvel, so she's not getting played. Murder World. Wow, nice board. And a negative zone. Wow. I mean, what more could you want? 3 horrible locations. 6 is good, but 7's better. Okay, we've got Shuri, She-Hulk, and Taskmaster. I think I'm into it. I think I'm into it. Snap? Cheeky snap? They're going to discard, and I hate discard, but let's have a cheeky snap. Why not? So we'll do nothing on turn 5 and hope that the game doesn't spiral out of control. The good thing is with negative zone, we're only dropping 1 card, so we're only going to lose 3 power. If they're going to stack a few cards, that's 3 power per card. It's always nice to just get 1 big high number in there, which we can definitely do. Okay, there's a Heller in there. This much I'm certain of. But I'm probably going to reveal second on the final turn. What we're losing? Shuri, yes. I don't mind losing Shuri. That's fine. I guess we just got to go here, right? And see what hell it brings up. What we got? Magneto over there. Ebony Maw. Black Cat. The discard gods were good to us today. That's a nice 8 Cuba. Here we got. More rocks, please. It's a good name. Can't play there, so let's hope we hit something with Rocket, which we don't. Sweet miss. Alright, that's good for us. If we do manage to double this She-Hulk, it's going to be worth 25 minimum. So we can, if we get a Taskmaster, we're going to get the extra 5 copied onto him as well. That's okay. Wakanda's good. Oh, we've got the Shuri. Things are looking decent. Should we Maximus just for the sake of it? Yeah, they get 2 more cards, but whatever. Oh my god. Now, do they get the on reveal from that? Surely not. No? I wouldn't have thought so. That can't be a thing, can it? You don't deserve the on reveal from that. Let's find out. Yeah, looks like they did. Mr. Negative came out with -2. Alright, we're going to take a big punt and not do anything on turn 5. We could drop Captain Marvel for 14 to swing over and take Marag. Oh, yep, let's do that. Then if you draw Taskmaster, we've still got a 14 power for turn 6. Which is alright. A 19 power for turn 6. Ho ho ho. And now it's a turn 7. Well, there's a Taskmaster. What to do? Let's drop a Taskmaster on the right. Really take that, hopefully take this out of range. Yeah, I'm into that. That works. But we've got some... What's coming out then? Well, they're coming out because he's going to play mid. He has to. We're going to get what, like Ironheart, Iron Man. What are the zeros? We're going to get a lot of cards here, I think. Let's see it. There we go. I had a feeling we're going to win that anyway. Nothing to play so far in this game. Pedro. Space Throne. Oh, someone's confident about the Space Throne. Jeez. Is that because they're gonna send something over? Like a Green Goblin, perhaps? Let's power up Titania, because we ain't got great cards here. Oh, Thor. That's fair. So what are we expecting to see here? A Wong, perhaps, to power up the hammer? That could be a thing. Well, all these positions are swapping around though, right? So... Didn't quite go how I thought it would go. Alright. They could play mid, but that wouldn't help me. Let's go... Gosh. Let's go Cosmo Rocket. Hammer? Oh, Leech. Unlucky. And for 6, let's go... Oh dear. She-Hulk and Titania. Let's assume they're gonna... Oh, I can't go Titania. Let's go She-Hulk and Titania. Because... Oh, I'm revealing first. Damn. Do you reckon they're gonna play 2 cards right? Because then Titania would bounce once and bounce back. As long as they don't just play a single card right, it should be good, right? That's good logic. Let's go with this. Alright. I was expecting a lot more. What was with the early snap? That was like barely a plan. And that turn. I haven't even really got to do my Shuri, She-Hulk and Taskmaster play much today. If at all. Got Shuri and Taskmaster now. Happy with that. Could do with a She-Hulk. Yeah, they're getting eaten up on that side, aren't they? Negative. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So that's that's a quick one. So yeah, few decent wins there. Never really got to get the Shuri Taskmaster She-Hulk combo going. Did I get it once? Maybe, I think. So you know, it's good. It's good when it works. Usually I get it a lot. Today it just hasn't really happened for some reason. But you know, it happens. That's why I've tried to build a little bit of redundancy in there. So yeah. Anyway, hope you watched this video this far, and if you did, thanks. You could subscribe maybe, because there'll be more videos and you might like them. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you again.